Everything in the empirical world has a unique energetic signature of vibratory wave patterns of unseen essence, but expressing itself electromagnetically. You will be allowed to manifest on Earth, in your present incarnation, the fullness of your divinity and spiritual gifts which have been hidden from you for so long. Understand that the beings controlling your planet propose to stop this developing enlightenment at all costs, since it will bring their reign to an end. Separation from Source, God, can never happen, has never happened, could never happen, because there is only one state of being. And that is in union with God, who is all, eternally and infinitely loving every expression of herself, who is every sentient being. Whether in form or totally free of the limitations that form attempts to impose on those who have chosen to be in form. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help. We acknowledge you in ways that you almost never acknowledge yourselves, because we know someone has to do it. And while you are eternal, infinite beings of unconditional love, you often do not think of yourselves in those ways. You need constant reminders from above to take you out of this illusion and to bring you back into your true creaturehood. On a subconscious level, we can feel them and know what they are. We can bring this awareness into our conscious minds by opening to it and inviting it into our expanding awareness. This awareness does not come through the rational mind, and if there is fear present, awareness contracts, along with all other aspects of life. As the dark forces strive to bring all of you and the planet into greater servitude and increase your allegiance to separation and fear, the polarity of light will at the same time create awakening and enlightenment. All are eternally, completely, and utterly free. God created you from love from herself in love, and therefore you are, and can only be utterly and completely free, because love by its very nature is an absolutely and eternally free state of existence. Not to be free is impossible, and yet, as humans, it most definitely does seem that you are not free. Because of the limitations that your physical forms impose upon you, for as long as you choose to be limited by them. Your good self is what we would call that, and your good self is the aspect of you that you sometimes do acknowledge, but only really pay lip service to. In other words, how many times throughout the course of your day would you say that you are operating from that knowing of yourself as your good self? Certainly, there are certain activities that you partake in that remind you of this true nature of the self. And certainly, there are moments when you are meditating or with loved ones that you can start to move in the direction of that full knowing. But what if you did everything with the knowing of the self as the good self? How would that change your life? How would that change the way you went about doing anything and everything? For eons, we have lived in a reality of varying balances between positivity and negativity. The balance between the polarities has been tilted toward the negative until recently. Now we are headed into a higher positive balance. Humans generally are feeling more and more aware of the incredible gift that we are to ourselves. Once we become aware of the essence of our being, we become transformed in every way in support and enhancement of all life. Sometimes we face crisis situations due to the presence of antimatter energetics. We feel threatened, sometimes fearing termination of consciousness. This is all in the realm of predominantly negative energy. To experience it, we must align with its vibrations by calling up fear of some kind. It is a world of entropy, eventually destroying itself and taking the positive world with it. Except that the positive world exists in a different polarity, and the two do not interact. Their energies repel each other. Soon those who are destined to form new governments and economic structures will become more visible. They have been preparing for this day and are already living among you. Do not judge them harshly or create expectations about them, for many who step forward may surprise you. Many have masked their true identities from within the very groups they seek to replace. Reach out with your hearts to recognize who your new leaders may be. All new structures will be formed for the benefit of the collective. This is an important key to identifying those who are finally ready to really support humanity. Even national borders will not stop those who support true change from coming together. Limitations that you experience while in form as humans are not imposed upon you. You experience them because you chose to do so when planning your human life paths before incarnating. Yes, others are involved in the limitations that you experience simply because you chose. Prior to incarnating, to engage with others who would assist you in following those paths. This is very hard for many of you to accept because the illusory reality you chose to experience appears, by its very nature, to be utterly real, just as you intended. I would remind you again, there are no accidents, there are no coincidences. There are no chance events. You each planned and chose every experience that you undergo as humans. No one else is to blame for what you undergo, so accept the life that unfolds for you moment by moment. And by doing so, find the peace that doing so provides. We acknowledge you for who you really are, because it's the only way that it serves us to see you, and we know that. We also know that nothing there on earth is ever really a mistake. Nothing is an aberration. Nothing needs to be wiped off the face of the earth, and we understand that everyone is playing a role. We also know that everything is changing and everyone and everything is getting closer to the source from which we all emerge. Therefore, we have complete confidence that not only will you know yourselves fully as your good selves, but you will begin to operate in that way as well. When you think of creating your reality, for example, if you think about it from the perspective of the good self, then you know that what you want to create already is. You know that you don't have to bend over backwards or struggle or prove your worthiness through lots and lots of action to make it be. You know that it is, and you are so confident that it is that you can go on living your life as your good self would. Because our nature allows for free will, we are free to interact with both positive and negative energy. And because negative energy is not natural, it depends upon positive energy for its existence. Without the experience and fear, we would not recognize unconditional love and joy for what they are. It is the contrast of energies that enables our awareness of them, and we have the absolute choice of which ones we want to pay attention to. This is the determining power of our experiences. Our attention is a focus of awareness within our larger consciousness. It is our attention that is our most powerful creative ability. We live in our imagination. Together, we imagine the entire empirical world. That's why quantum physicists have shown that it exists physically only in our attention and recognition. It is all patterns of energy that we are aware of subconsciously and interpret as the material world for our conscious awareness, because it stimulates our senses. We believe it is real. It is all a game in consciousness that we are playing with one another. And we control the qualities and forms of our experiences. These conflicts will initiate an acceleration on the entire planet and assist in awakening millions to a new awareness of their divinity and a reconsideration of new values in their lives. multitudes will discover new goals and purposes more aligned with their divine nature. As a result of these conflicts, you will find millions of people swelling the ranks of the lightworkers and banding together to create permanent peace and a new reality based on divine truths. These conflicts will also assist in eroding the outmoded patriarchal structures that no longer serve you. Be prepared to experience some sorrow and to witness the suffering that will take place. This will assist in opening your heart and easing your passage into the higher dimension. You will also clear much accumulated karma, making way for the new order and the recognition of your true divine self. Children of my heart, allow the hand of God to wield its magic. Your Creator is watching attentively, protecting the earth and her people who have chosen to remain and embrace their new glorious destiny. Instead of going into fear, despair, and hopelessness, light a candle of hope in your heart. Know that beyond war, a brand new world awaits. Miracles are just waiting to manifest. The gifts of love and grace from the Creator and your star family will pour down in ways you have never experienced before. As so many do, is the choice to disable or block the natural flow of peace within and through you. It is fine and sensible to try and change or alter the circumstances in your life that cause you pain or suffering. Life as a human in form is most definitely a very powerful and useful learning experience, and what you learn greatly assists your spiritual evolution. Whether you do evolve spiritually during any particular lifetime depends on how you respond to the lessons with which it presents you. You always have complete freedom of choice. Some live lives in which they experience intense pain and suffering, but nevertheless make great spiritual progress, whereas others, who appear to lead charmed lives, make different choices that disable any growth opportunities they have set on their life paths. When you understand that the time lag in between you creating something and you experiencing it is necessary to give you that experience, then you step into full knowing that you will experience what you have just created in due time. And in the meantime, there are plenty of other creations around for you to enjoy. When you operate as the good self, you see others as perfect just as they are. You see others as the gods that they are, and you do not project negative attributes onto them. You do not assume the worst of them, and certainly you do not assume that they are stagnant or incapable of growth. Everyone not only is capable of growth, but everyone is doing it, because if they aren't, they must check out of this reality. This shift is happening, and only those who are willing to grow will stay and enjoy the rest of the ride. Now, as you consider what it means to you to be your good self, we recommend that you do so from that space of acknowledging that this is not placing you higher than anyone else. As we grow in the desire for peace and fulfillment and an understanding of the nature of life and consciousness, we can become aware of an inner knowing beyond questions and limiting beliefs and into the infinite. In our essence, we have no limits. We arise within the infinite consciousness of the Creator of all, possessing all the attributes of the Creator. We can learn to realize them within, transforming our lives into experiences of deepest gratitude, love, and joy. As the vibration continues to increase upon the planet, so will your responsibilities. We, your Lemurian brothers and sisters, are gathering our teams on the surface to implement our plans with many of you in every corner and country of this planet. Eventually, we will be working in goodwill with all who desire to serve the greater good with us. Nothing will be imposed on you. Your desire to serve with us must be ignited by the calling of your heart. If you wish to be of service, our mission will involve great numbers of people. The time of joy you have been waiting for is just beyond the clouds, beyond the storms of fabricated wars. If you can allow the clouds and storms to play out this last game, this last illusion, you shall never regret it. Keep the candle of hope lit in your heart, for beyond the dark clouds is joy, ease, and grace. The dawning of a new world of unity and love, where violence no longer exists, is now just beyond the horizon. Take care of each other in times of need. Extend your love and comfort to those who have not had the opportunity to learn what you already know. The latter are always operating from fear, whereas your intuition operates from love, making it very easy to discern which you need to honor and follow. If your ego screams at you to get your attention and thus stops you from stepping into the road in front of a fast-moving vehicle, thank it, because its purpose is to protect your body from injury, but also remind yourself of the necessity to be mindful. Being mindful means to be aware of each and every thought, word, or action with which you engage, and this can be very difficult when you are deep in your intellectual mind dealing with worldly issues. For instance, a neurosurgeon has to focus extremely intently and narrowly when he or she is operating on someone's brain that is being mindful. But doing so necessarily shuts out full or complete awareness of beingness, of full mindfulness. This is an example of a human's unavoidable state of limitation. For example, I can commune in the same moment with everyone who wishes to commune with me, because I am not in any manner limited because I am free of form. Whereas you who are in form have very limited capabilities in the number of people with whom you can interact and commune with in the same moment. But it is your way of showing others the way to acknowledging and being their true selves and operating in the world as such. And when everyone around you is doing so, you will know that you have achieved something that very few people throughout history have achieved. And you can rest assured that you will be living in a world where everyone eventually will know who they really are and treat others, and the planet and the animals as they really are. That's simply the world you are co-creating right now. Very good.